Welcome back, everybody. Mildly a Big Deal podcast with Bo Clowers. Today we are here with Stacie Simmons. She is a mental health counselor. Is that right?
Crisis counselor.
Crisis counselor.
Yep.
Okay. And has been working in the mental health field for over 19 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as a crisis counselor, what can you tell me about that? What is that pertain to?
So basically, in short, just it is intervention. So people are reaching out because they've reached that point to where they are about to topple over the edge. And it is our job to recenter and reground them, help them find tools to help them be able to regulate that better. Resources. So, we do a suicide assessment and safety planning. Um, that's basically really all it is, just meeting people where they are and helping them feel seen, heard, and supported in the moment. 'Cause that's really all they need is just that presence.
Okay. And they call that a 988 counselor?
Yeah,
Or is
so
it
there used to be a
988
long,
or
yeah, there used to be a long 1-800 number for years. Like the suicide hotline's been a thing for a long time. Um,
okay.
and
That was
then
my next question was like, is that the same thing?
It's
Okay.
the same thing. So 4 years ago, it just turned 4 years old. 4 years ago, the government adopted a three-digit number of 988. So like we have 911 for
Mm-hmm.
everything else, now that they have 988 for people to remember so they can uh, be easier for them to remember to contact the suicide hotline.
Okay, so it's just like 911. You can just dial the 988 and it just takes you straight there.
Yep,
Okay.
and you can text it as well, or you can go to lifeline.org and it
Yeah.
will give you a chat option too. That actually stays
Okay.
busier than the phone side.
Oh, I'm sure. So, what do you answer phones? Are you on
I
a
actually work
part
on
of
the
that
chat and
where
text side.
chat takes out? Okay.
hmm And and in my opinion, I'm scared of phones. I have ADHD, so I get distracted when I'm talking to people on the phone. So I would be afraid if I'm talking to someone and my mind would veer off into some random topic and not hear anything that they just told me. So chat is easy for me. Um, it's a different kind of way to talk to people because especially nowadays everybody thinks they're talking to a chatbot. I get called a chatbot so much that I'm like starting to question my own identity at this point.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the therapeutic language sounds robotic sometimes, and it's hard to convince people that I'm not AI and that I'm human. So I have to find very creative ways when talking to people, so that they know that they're talking to a real person, because they will literally hang up. They're like, I didn't reach out to talk to a chat bot. I want to talk to a real person.
Yeah.
So
And you're over here going like, hey, 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 I'm as real as it
I'm a
gets.
I'm a real girl, I
I'm
promise.
a real girl. Right. I'm just a girl
I'm just a
standing in front of the
girl.
phone. Um, so does that? I bet that's got to be like hard. Like that's got to make for some hard days to sit and have that conversation throughout the day. It seems like they would have to make for a real downer sometimes. Like maybe these people are calling looking for counseling, but that could also lead to maybe you needing some counseling yourself. It seems like.
Yeah.
Uh,
The way I try to explain it to people is that you don't just sit and talk. Like I can talk to someone. So like a chat and text conversation, if it's gonna go from start to finish with like safety planning and everything in a chat conversation, those can last a while because of like how fast can people text or type. So about an hour, hour and a half. And when I'm done speaking with them, I literally hit disconnect, back myself in the queue, and the phone immediately rings. I haven't even had time to process the information of the traumatic stuff that this other person just told me about before
yeah.
I've got to sit and reset and become a whole and start a whole new traumatic event with this other person and a whole new empathy and stuff. And I talked to about 14 people per shift in an 8-hour period.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, that seemed like that would get
It's a
taxing, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually taxing. It seems like it
hmm
would be rough to do.
Yeah,
Uh,
usually when I get off work, I don't want to talk to know
well, I'm
what
sure
no decision making. Don't ask me what I want for dinner because I don't know.
that I say that so often. As a nurse, I make decisions for 30 people a day for 12 hours at a time. So then I get home and people are like, "What do you want to eat?" I just don't want to make a decision. Well, what about no? I just don't want to have to make a decision. Whatever you decide is absolutely perfect. So,
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's what I tell my partner. She's like, "What do you want to eat?" And I'm like, "I don't care." And she's like, "Well, like, can you give me like a genre, like Mexican, American, whatever?" I was like, "No, that question seems even harder." I was like, "Can you just pick a
right,
restaurant? Because I can find food anywhere. I can pick anything off the menu. It don't matter. I don't
right.
care."
I'm always like, hey, I'm a fat kid. Like I'll eat. I'll find some food. You're not ever going to be like, hey, I was thinking about tacos, and maybe like, oh, gross tacos. Like well, it
Right.
doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna be like, oh hell yeah, let's go eat that.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah. You choose, I'll find something on the menu. No worries.
Is being in that field as a mental health crisis counselor, that's got to be hard on your partner too. It seems like I mean, it's got to be hard for everyone involved. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm
it seems like it would be hard to just like as a nurse, it can be hard to just leave that there. Like
Yes.
sometimes you go home and the bad follows you there.
hmm
So
It
so good.
is. I carry a lot with me. Like I think about a lot of people that I've helped, like I have particular ones that I've helped years ago that I still think about today, but another side of that is I don't have the space to hold for people
Oh,
anymore. Like I get paid for 8 hours a day to do it, but like even like for my partner, if she's needing emotional support, that is so hard for me because I don't have it to give. Or even
yeah,
my kid. Like when my kid calls me, she's crying and in panic or having a bad day, I'm
yeah,
just emotionally numb most of the time at this point because it's what do they call it? Compassion fatigue.
yeah.
So, and it just stays with you. It's far beyond burnout.
Yeah, oh, it's sure, and I'm sure. Like I know all the medical fields, burnout is just extreme.
Hmm
So it's just taxing. It's hard on everybody for sure.
Yes,
So being in this field and having the experiences you've had has led you to you're writing a book. Is that right?
I am.
Tell me about this book.
So basically, it's this there's a stigma in the field that we have all the answers, right? So we shouldn't ever suffer from suicidal ideation. We shouldn't have to experience self-harm. We we have because we know everything that we need to do, right?
Mm,
So we should never be in that predicament. And that's not fair. And it causes a lot of us to close off because it makes us feel like we are not good at our jobs, or people will see us as not someone who's able to do the job. Like our vetting goes away. So the book is basically about my own lived experience of not dealing with my own trauma because I was
mm-hmm.
scared to acknowledge it while working in the field, and what that led to, which was my all the knowledge that I created was my collapse in it all, you
Yeah.
know. So like I knew what would happen if I did XYZ, so I wasn't gonna tell no one, and I already knew
Right.
like everything, So and then the more I started talking about my idea of the book, more and more colleagues started to reach out, and they were like, me too, this was what happened to me, you know um
Mm-hmm.
like one colleague in my book talked about having a miscarriage and then clocking into work the same day and talking to someone through their own crisis while she was actively having a miscarriage, so and didn't miss a beat. So I mean that's just kind of like what the book is about, and learning how to remember that just because you're the helper doesn't mean you don't need help too. And it's okay to say that you need help.
Oh yeah, for sure. How long is it taking you to write the book?
About a year and a few months,
Okay.
because
Um,
I had to redo it because I did one draft and I was like, no, trash. So I redid it again. And then as I've gotten closer to wanting to go ahead and publish it, I've had more people reach out. They're like, I think I want to submit a story. It took them time to build some courage up because
well,
and ultimately they were scared. Uh, they're scared of the industry. These organizations fail us. For example, my company has this weekly group called Wellness, and used to we could get out of the queue just to attend this meeting, which is that makes sense. Gives you time away from the queue, away from the clients. You're solely
yeah,
focused on learning about mental wellness and self-care, and they give us little resources and stuff. And it was nice. Everybody loved it. Now you're not allowed to get out of the queue. So I attend my wellness meeting while I'm talking somebody off the bridge. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah. It seems like maybe we could stop one, like
Yeah.
get your undivided attention. You know what I mean? Like it seems a little bit important, but
Right. So that's kind of
companies,
like the fire of this book. It's kind of like a call to action. Like, hey,
well,
take care of your people because we can't take care of the people who are needing help if we're exhausted at this point.
and every part of this field, mental health, nursing, medical field, all of it. Everybody's so quick to judge. Like even if you're as like a mental health or a medical professional, I say you make a comment about something that happened on Facebook or whatever. You're not so specific, nothing HIPAA, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can count on 7 or 8 different people. Well, it seems like a nurse should blah 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 blah. Well, a good
Mm,
nurse would, and everybody wants to put you down, but you're still a human at the end of the day.
right. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you have this training and you have this job and you do that job to the best of your ability, but you're still a human being. You're still allowed to feel a certain way about things.
You're human
Uh,
first. Professional
and
second.
and sometimes, it's if you took to heart every tragic thing that happened throughout your day, you just wouldn't survive it. Like it's so yeah, you make jokes and you make comments and not in front of not where it can be heard,
Yeah.
by you're appropriate with it. But
Right.
like you make these comments because you have to cope in some way. And lots of people in the world just don't seem to grasp that. Like
No.
that, I get that Margaret died 18 minutes ago, but she may be the second or third person that's died today or this week. Like it's if I took to heart and was devastated over every single one, what kind of life am I living?
Right. Yes.
So you
You
just
learn to
learn to cope.
compartmentalize very quickly. It seems like
Definitely.
and it's just crazy. In my book, I even talk about that too. Like when I had my suicide attempt and I woke up in the hospital and the nurse had come in to do my mental assessment, like, my ANO or whatever,
Mhm.
which I failed horribly, by the way. I don't know why they asked those questions as soon as I pull the vent out. But she looked at me, she said, "You're a crisis counselor. What would your job say?" And I said, "I don't know. What would your job say if you got the flu?"
Wow.
It's like you're judging me for you're judging me for going through what I help people through, but I wouldn't judge you for getting sick because you
Yeah.
help
I
sick
mean,
people.
but you're going through what you went through can happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you can't judge somebody for that. I mean, you're to judge somebody at their lowest point, you're pretty sorry. Like you're not much of a person if you can look at somebody at their lowest point and then judge them on that. You know, you either got to be judged by all of you. If you're going to be judged by all of your lowest points, you need to be judged by all of your highest points. And I don't want to live in a world where you can only pick one of the two. Like it's got to
Right.
have some sort of equal ground there.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, So when are you going to have like is the book going to be like released, like where people can put their hands on it, read it, download it? And
I'm
is it going to
hope
be like a paperback, a hardback, or online, or?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do ebook, a paperback, hardback. I'll do all three versions. It'll be available on Amazon. I was hoping for 2 weeks, but it's looking more like three. So I'm having somebody help me navigate the Amazon self-publishing site
Okay.
because it makes me want to hit it with a hammer.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But she's used it before and she's really vetted with it. So I was like, can you please just like push those buttons for me? She's like, yes, I can. So she's
There you
able.
go. That sounds like a friend to have right there.
I gotta have, yeah,
Um,
gotta have access, gotta have resources everywhere.
so and it's like self-published all through the
hmm
Amazon app thing. Okay, I
Yeah,
was going
I
to
did a
ask how
lot.
that worked, but it sounds like you know as much as I do on that one.
Yeah,
So
I did a lot of research, and apparently, like for first time writing a book, like that's the best place to go. Is like that direction is
okay.
the Amazon self-publishing, and then you can always have it republished other places if it does well. It's kind of like a starting point to see how you're doing, basically.
See, I have a story that I always want to tell, and it's something that actually happened. Like I was a part of it in the nursing field, and it's this great story. But then every time I write it, it's like I can write most of it all in like 3 pages, like 4 pages, and I'm like, all right, well, never mind. Like, and it's this whole big like I don't know. I'm not a writer, so um
So what I did was I'm not a writer either. Like I'm good with words. Like I can spill off some empathy to someone, and like you analogies like nobody's business. But when I was sitting here thinking about like what I wanted to do to write this story, I wrote it all out, and I've always been like I was used to be against AI really bad because like they were like AI is going to take over everything and we won't need crisis counselors anymore because they can talk you through, but it doesn't work that way. So
no.
what I would do is I would just upload it, and you can set it to where it'll be like brutally honest. Like, don't sugarcoat this for me. Tell me where I missed it. Where can I add? And mine would just tell me like, chapter 8 is lacking depth, and you need to really dig into this particular section. So I would
Okay.
take it, redo it, re-upload it, and it would give me like it's like if I was a if I was an editor, I'd give you like a 7.5 out of 10 on this edit. So like I just kept
Mm.
doing it that way until I got it to where I wanted it.
So you brought up AI. In your field, is that something that y'all are concerned with? I mean, is that something that AI could potentially like take
No,
over with that?
I've tested it myself because and when it first started becoming pretty popular, they were like, AI is going to take over our job at chat and text, but it cannot convey real human empathy. It
Right.
can. It for the most part, it is very agreeable to you. Have you seen those memes on Facebook where it's like, I crashed my car into my ex's today or whatever, and then ChatGPT was like, it sounds like you were having a rough day, but that sounds like a valid response.
Yeah.
Like it can be pretty agreeable, but it won't handle risk. Like me or you, we know when somebody's saying particular words and how they're wording things. We can hear the things that aren't being said
Yeah.
based on our knowledge and experience. So if you're talking to like ChatGPT and you're talking about how you're feeling and you set ideations and self-harm and stuff like that, if you start saying certain risk words, it's just going to repeat itself over and over to contact 911 or 988.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of chatters that come in and tell me that they don't have any support and that they use AI to talk to because it helps them feel less alone. Because you can have a conversation with it. I've tested that out too. And it is crazy how normal and casual it feels.
Hmm.
Like it
I just
feels
like to
like you were
me,
talking to a human
it doesn't feel
ish.
like AI can like you have like if you're like you've done this enough in your life that when you're talking to somebody, you get a feeling in your gut that says this. AI is not
hmm
going to have that. I mean, yeah, it maybe has
Right.
algorithms and crap like that, but it's not the same.
Yeah, because we get certain people that work in the professional fields like we do or whatever, and they know not to say very specific words so that we don't send anybody out to check on them.
Yeah.
Okay. But they will have said things throughout the conversation that outweighs, because we have criteria, like you have to have like intent, a plan, access, a timeline. Like you've got to say a bunch of things for me to be like, okay, I'm calling the cops on you. But there's some people that will just, you're gonna, we ask very direct questions. Are you gonna kill yourself today?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, I don't know, or I'm unsure, or maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, or if this happens, I might do it. Those are vague responses. They're not direct.
Yeah.
But maybe they're elderly and they are financially insecure and they're homeless and they have a chronic illness, and there's just a lot of risk factors there that I don't need their intent, plan, or access in order to determine that they're a higher risk of suicide,
And
because all of
from
those risk factors outweighed it.
as on your end, can you can send people to their house, like, or send people to check on them and have them like go in to be evaluated and stuff? Y'all can do that from where you're at, or
Yeah, we don't. They don't have to provide us any information they don't want to, and a lot of people, some people will give me their zip code. I love it when they do that. If they're using an IP address, like our chat platform, it's harder because a lot of police departments won't track an IP address.
yeah,
Easier if they have a phone number. A lot of people do not give me their name because they're scared.
yeah,
But only about 1% of our interactions end up in needing police intervention.
okay.
We,
I was at a facility in West Virginia, and we had an elderly man. He was late 80s, early 90s, elderly. And he was mad because he wanted what was it? Oh, he wanted an ice cream. He wanted ice cream, but he was lactose intolerant, and he had it in his care plan because he was not in control of his own medical actions and whatnot. So he had it to where his family set it up where he couldn't, like, we just couldn't just give him one, right?
mhm.
And so we would like, okay, well, let me call and ask your son. Can we give you his milkshake? Can we do all this? And he got mad and he called uh, the suicide hotline, 988. Maybe I don't know how the correct. And
I get a few of those.
he told them that he was going to kill himself, and they said, "Oh, do you have a plan?" And he said, "I'm going to fly a plane directly into this building." And they came and they took him to the ER to be evaluated because he had a plan. And I always thought it was odd because, well, one, he's in a nursing home. He has no access to a plane, so it's
Yeah.
like, so how did that work?
So how,
Or is that just
if the
personal?
person that was taking the interaction knew that he was already in a higher level of care, they wouldn't have sent anyone.
Oh, okay.
Because I've spoken to people, and I ask very specific questions when they're talking to me. Like one day I was talking to somebody, they mentioned that they needed to go to the ER. I said, "Is there someone that can take you?" And they're like, "The staff." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "It sounds like that you're in a facility already, and there's people there that can help you. Is that right?" And they're like, "Yes." So even though they seem kind of a higher risk to me, I knew that they were safe.
Yeah, yeah. I just always love. I just like, of all the means of someone to to come up with, it was, I'm going to fly a
Fly a
plane.
plane.
So
I mean, he said the right words. He's like, "I'm gonna kill myself. This is my plan. I'm gonna do it right now." We don't know if he has access to a plane like that. So
I'm like, he can't stand on his own, so I don't think he can fly on his own.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's a
who?
little harder because like we're only getting that one piece of information
Oh,
in
I'm
that
sure.
moment in a very short conversation. And on chat and text, it's much harder because you can't hear their voice, what's in the background. Because we get a lot of chat. We do get a lot of pranks.
Yeah.
People troll the suicide hotline. Um, but like on the phone, they would have been able to hear probably in the background if he was talking to them.
Yeah.
So it's It's probably just one of those one and off moments. Maybe a new
He
counselor.
he was truly an awful man. I'm not. No, I shouldn't say that, but there wasn't many positive aspects of this. But he was just mean all the time.
We get some mean ones too. I mean, it's crazy, but I see it as they're reaching out, and I'd rather them reach out and be mean to me
Right? Yeah,
because I'm
I
safe.
get that.
And if they go outside and be mean to someone, they're probably not so safe. So I'd rather them call and take it out on me than anything anybody else.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, some of these old folks in the nursing homes can just meaner than a rattlesnake. Some of them. Oh, so let me ask you some important questions.
Okay.
What is your favorite sandwich?
I would say anything with a lot of cheese on it because at least then I can say I got my dairy in for the day.
Right? Anything with cheese, because cheese is just better than no cheese.
Exactly.
And then it's such a vague question too, though, because like, is a burger a sandwich? I feel like a burger could be called a sandwich, but
I
it's
feel
not. It's a
I think
burger.
so.
Because to me, a sandwich is just bread, something bread.
Right?
I
It's
don't
got
know.
all the components on it. It's got all the four food groups.
All right. Do you believe in ghost aliens or Bigfoot?
I would like to believe in aliens because I think that there is more out there doing making bad decisions after midnight than just us here on Earth. So like they've got to be, yeah. I believe in
Have you ever
aliens
had any
there.
sort of experience?
No, no,
No.
I'm too much of a like overthinker, overanalyzer, and stay way too distracted. So
No.
it could probably walk right in front of me and I wouldn't even know it. So I'd be so off in my own little world.
I don't want to believe in ghosts. Like, I like to say that I don't, but I have seen one, which makes it harder to argue.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a ghost with, like, me and my old partner on the ambulance. We saw the exact same ghost at the exact same time while standing together.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I know we saw something, but also I'm like, come on, I don't know. I don't know how to justify
Right.
it or
Right.
unjustify it. So,
You're like,
um,
think I saw it, but I don't know if I wanted to know if I seen it or not. Uh,
exactly. And
but
then
some, if I see something, it's probably from lack of sleep.
see, I thought I was finding a Bigfoot one time because I was driving through, uh, out in Howard County, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like headed doing home health, this super wooded area, and I saw like just over the hill, you see this one tree just getting it, all right. All the
Uh-huh.
other trees were not, and I'm like, that's something has this tree like about to break, and I wasn't in a hurry, so I like stopped my truck and I ran out and I ran through this woods, and it was just some random kids cutting down a tree. I scared the hell out of them, me running out of the woods coming up on these kids. Like, go to school, kids. What are you doing?
Right. What are you
Leave
doing?
that tree alone.
Right. That's dangerous. Where are your parents?
About the
My
time I
daughter.
saw them, I didn't know what to do, so I just kept running. I just like ran a circle and ran all the way back to my truck. So they probably got a hell of a story out of it. No one will
I
believe
would have
that.
done the same. My daughter, when she was born, she used to sit in her little car seat and she would just stare up at the corner of the ceiling and laugh all
Mm.
the time. And there's nothing there. But apparently she saw something there. So, I mean, they could be real.
My last contract was in North Carolina, and Oliver, my little dog, he was. We were pretty sure between him and I that we had a ghost. And he would like bring his like there would be an empty seat. Okay, he'll run up to you and he'll like set his toy in front of you and he'll like sit down and wait for you to throw it.
Hmm.
But in that house and only in that house, he would run up and set it in front of like an empty seat and set it down and then look into the empty seat like, okay, now throw it. And it was like, they can't play with you, buddy. But
Right.
um, so yeah,
So funny.
um, I know one of the other things I was going to ask about the crisis counseling thing. Do y'all get a lot of? Is it a lot of repeat callers? Is a lot of people calling the same ones, or
Okay, so on the state lines, they get that. So the company I work for, they get calls for Washington State only.
Mhm.
We have a national backup line who catches the overflow for all of the states. And then we have a native strong line, which is just tribal affiliated. So they get all the tribal calls from
Okay.
Washington. Um, but up until July of last year, we had the LGBT chat and text line, and the government said that we didn't need that anymore. I have strong feelings. So they closed that. But the government's told the president that, hey, you can't decide who gets care and who doesn't get care. So we're getting it back. And there's hundreds of 988 centers. Okay. But
Okay.
we had the LGBT option, only 4 centers in the United States adopted that option.
Really?
So yeah, so on the LGBT line, we actually got a lot of repeat visitors from the, and this is because we carried the whole U.S. On that line, so we would actually have repeat visitors. And once they repeat for a while, they get their own little care plan so that we can navigate them faster. Because if not, then you're stuck talking to the same person 4 or 5 times a day for an hour at a time. And you're,
So so how does that work? Is it like would they dial a different number? Is there like a directory like dial 9 for, or is it like certain people would answer like more specialized to their needs like because of the
yeah.
okay.
So like when we had the LGBT line, when you would text in, you would text the word pride.
Okay.
Or if you called, you would choose option 3. Veterans is like option 2.
Okay.
Yeah, they have, you
So
just choose little buttons.
would you say that there's like a higher percentage of the LGBT? I get the letters either out of order or sometimes I put new letters in. Sometimes I miss a letter.
There are new letters. There are new, I refuse. I can't. At work, we would all the high leadership would ramble all of them off. I guess to try to just be correct about it. But I was born in the '80s. I'm stuck at
Right.
LGBT. So,
Right.
but now it's like LGBTQIA plus 2S. 2S
Oh.
is new to me. It's Two Spirit. It's Native. I'm not quite sure. I'm not well educated enough on exactly what it
Yeah, I'm gonna have
is
to Google
exactly.
that. That's
Yep.
that's out of my
I have to
scope of
Google it every
practice.
time too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of. I worked with a lady in North Dakota, and she was a lesbian, and I would always want to ask questions, but if I ever did, she was like super offended, and I was always trying to explain to her like, I'm not trying to offend you, I'm trying to educate myself, and
Curious.
that's different. But she was always like, "What are you trying to say?" And I'm like, "I'm no, I'm not saying anything. I'm
Right.
asking, and
Right.
that's different." So,
Right. I'm trying to build my knowledge.
right, I'm like, I'm just trying to figure it all out. I believe firmly that you live life one time. Whatever you need to do to be happy during that time, just do it.
Right.
It's relatively that simple. I say that. I'm always unhappy and always complaining, but I will tell others in a heartbeat, just be happy.
Same.
Don't
Do as I
don't
say,
don't,
not as
don't
I
do
do.
what don't do what I do. Do what I'm telling you to do. It's way easier.
I can teach coping skills like crazy,
So
but don't ask me to do any.
is there in the LGBT community,
Mm-hmm.
community,
Mm.
is there like a higher number of those kind of calls than the others? Because it seems like this is coming from a straight white male. So, what do I know? But it seems like when I try to think about being in that life, I think it has to be hard
Mm-hmm.
because you're getting judged. You're getting, people are assholes all the time.
All the time.
And then, like, not only all that, but like and this may be my own ignorance, but like your picking pool, like your options to choose from it seems like is less.
Hmm.
Like I can go to the park and I might come across 20 females. They may not all want me. I may not want all of them.
Yeah.
But out of that 20, there's probably at least 18, 19 that's straight, that's looking for a guy or would. Where
Hmm.
it seems like if I was a lesbian or a gay guy, I say I was a gay guy and I went to the park, I might come across 50 dudes at the park, but none of them are homosexual.
Right.
It just seems like that like adds up to a harder way of life,
It can
you
be.
know?
It can be
So it
harder
just
to
seems
find a
like
partner.
yeah, it just seems like it would make all of the mental health issues harder because you wouldn't have the maybe the support system. I don't know if that's the right word, but like
Yeah.
your
I,
group around you to support yourself.
I think it's easier now because we have, compared to like when we were growing up, we didn't have the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I remember thinking when I was younger, like maybe middle school or high school, that I couldn't wait to get to college. For some reason in my brain, getting to college meant I would find my people.
Yeah.
And, and I wouldn't have to pretend anymore, because like I wasn't finding that in DeQueen, Arkansas.
What?
Right?
No,
Like, where were the gay people? There was no gay people in DeQueen. I mean, I could probably name two. So,
yeah, and that's what I always think is like when we grew up in the 80s, 90s, DeQueen, Arkansas, southwest, southern, small town Arkansas. I I knew two or three maybe,
mm-hmm,
and and I did have, and I'm not going to out anybody, but I had a friend of mine that I've known my whole life that kind of he didn't say, "Hey, this is who I am." You know what I mean? Like he
mm-hmm,
didn't come out like come out,
right,
but he let me know that it's kind of he let me know that he is without just saying it.
mm-hmm,
It's kind of like he was like testing the waters to be like, are you going to
right,
judge me? Are we? And I just told him, I was like, honestly, to me, and I get not wanting to say anything. I get,
mm-hmm.
the
It's
fear
scary.
of the, you may know everybody's going to be fine with it, but there's 99% chance. Well, there's that 1% that's terrifying. So,
Mm-hmm.
and like I told him, I was like, to me, I would be more offended that you never thought you could trust me with that than I
Yeah.
would be like offended that that's who you think you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll support you, whatever, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, two of the best three times I ever had going to a club were both at gay bars. Had
Yeah.
a
They're pretty
blast
fun.
both times.
They're pretty
Well,
fun.
I
There is.
travel, and I always say when I travel, I hope I can make a gay buddy whenever I go because they'll take you
Mm-hmm.
to all the best places.
Yep.
You're not like battling over like, oh, hey, there's a hot chick, and then
And they're
you have to
so
like,
friendly.
yes, and every time you see a hot chick, your buddy's like, I got this, I'll be back, and it's like,
Yep.
hell yeah, where have
Because
you been forever,
every straight girl loves a gay guy to come
right?
talk to them and buddy up to them because they just think they're the most adorable thing in the world.
And then I'm over here just having to reap all the benefits.
Right, right.
It's a rough gig, but somebody has to play it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I can't. You went through all this in the 80s and 90s, right? Like
Born in 84.
84. Okay, I knew you was close, but I didn't know how far off. Um, I was 81. Like, did you always know that that was like the route you wanted? Like that's who you were, or
Yeah,
was there like a defining moment, or how does
I,
that work?
I probably knew like around the age of 8
Okay.
because I just didn't want, I didn't see boys that way.
Yeah.
But growing up where we grew up, like you just kind of follow that expectation that you
Yeah.
see and what your family is expecting. So that's what I did until I was just like, nah, don't like the
Okay.
vibes changing. And
Yeah. See, at 8, I was still just too worried about playing Nintendo, so I don't know. I didn't know nothing about no girls yet either. So,
yeah, I
um,
was always a tomboy. Like my
yeah.
mom my mom loved when I would have my friends over because they were super girly and she could do their hair and whatever. And then if she ever tried to do that to me, I would literally run away from her or try to dress on me. I would run. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. So yeah, I think I've just always been more geared that way. And then uh, probably I think I was 21 when I finally told my family. All but one took it well, and
Okay.
they've all been great. And my mom was always super supportive, and my
Okay.
daughter, that's all she's ever known because she was 1 years old, so that's all
Okay.
she's ever known.
So, did the family kind of already have a sense, or was it like a surprise, or?
I think my uncle, my mom's youngest brother, I think he knew.
Mhm.
He was the most supportive. He was like, "Are you happy?" I said, "Yep." He's like, "I'm happy for you."
That's
And
it.
then, you know, my grandma thought it was a phase. And here we are, 20 some years later. But she was never hateful or
Yeah.
never not loved me. Like if I brought some money home, she was super supportive and was sweet to them and hugged them. And if they had kids, the same thing to them, treated them like they belonged there. And so, I mean, my family was always really receptive.
I growing up in the South, I was always our family. It was weird, and my family probably does not want me to tell this story. Sorry, mom. I'm gonna tell it anyways. Um, we never got told like, "Hey, you can't be gay." We never got told, "Don't date out of your race." We never got told all these things. We never got told, but my grandmother would tell us, "Don't you be dating no Catholic kids. You hear me? You stay away from them Catholics." It was always like it didn't matter. You could be anything as long as you weren't Catholic, and that was where she drew the line. And that woman, bless her heart, she's a sweet little lady. She died before I became an adult enough to be able to have the guts to say, "So, Nano, why you hate the Catholics so bad?" I would
Right.
love to have been able to have had that conversation of, "So, what is the deal? Why do
Right.
you hate Catholic people?"
It's probably the
So
standing up and sitting down the whole time in church that probably bothered her a little bit. It's exhausting.
maybe, hey, there's with that woman, there's no telling. That was her line. She would tell us, "Everybody you know is welcome to Sunday dinner as long as they're not Catholic." I'm
I
like,
love that. I love your grandmother. That is great.
I would tell people before they came over, I'd be like, "Hey, I don't know what church you go to, but just whatever it is, just don't mention it. We'll just,
I mean, my family voiced their opinions, like they wasn't particularly keen on dating outside your race. Like, and I'm like, we live in DeQueen, Arkansas, and 90% of the population is Hispanic. I'm like, their pool is small.
yes,
And then growing up, like my dad or like some of them would make these little snide remarks about like some of the gay men they would see in town and whatever, So like I knew like they weren't, you know, the big pride supporters, they weren't allies,
yeah,
And then I made a joke one day. I was like, well, I guess I just did it up all the way. I was like, I married a man that was Hispanic and had a half Mexican baby and then became a lesbian. So I guess I checked off all your boxes. If
you went
I
down the
was gonna do it, I
checklist.
was gonna do it right.
You're like, well, batting 1,000% now. So
Right. I just started the trend because but my all my cousins have interracial babies, and so I mean like
it's your fault.
yeah, it's my fault. I started the
Mm,
trend.
when in doubt, you blame the lesbian. So
Right.
that's the
Right. Yep.
Southwest Arkansas way. It's like I don't exactly know what happened, but I can tell you who I blame for it.
Right.
Them homosexuals is probably the cause of all of it.
I got an
So
agenda.
getting us one at a time. So
Right. I even got a notebook that says the gay agenda. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write this down in there.
there you go. There you go. All right. Well, one more of my random questions. What is your thoughts about frogs? I'm terrified of frogs. Everybody knows this about me, and I need to know what everybody else thinks about them as well.
Frogs?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's important.
I grew up in very rural Arkansas, so my dad would go frog gigging
Mm-hmm.
and would bring home these ginormous bullfrogs. I guess that's what they're called. And I was
Mm-hmm.
never a fan. And I
Mm.
thought it was weird and gross. I was
They
like,
creep
why are
me
you
out. I
such
don't
a
like them.
hillbilly redneck right now?
Like, I just can't. I I can be told behind this door there's a frog,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be like, all right, it's not a big deal. I know that it can't hurt me. I know that it's it's not going to like attack, and I'm good with it. And then the second that I walk in that room, complete and utter breakdown. And I'm like,
Burn it
I
with
don't know.
fire.
It's I'm not scared of many things. I've been a firefighter. I've ridden a bull. I've been in fights. I mean, like I've done so many things. And then you put a frog in the room, and I become the biggest coward you'll ever meet.
The only new fear I've unlocked is possums
Oh,
because
possums are the sweetest.
one would think until you walk in your garage and you turn around and there's one staring at you and you're like, hey, bro, I don't want no smoke. I'm just trying to do my laundry. And then
Right.
my dog, who's also named Oliver,
Oh.
decides that every animal loves him and wants to be his friend. So when I would pick up overnight shifts, I'd be sitting at my desk, and then I would get up and go to walk around it, and there's a baby possum laying on my floor
Oh.
because he would go outside and get it, bring it in, and just lay it down. Like he would never hurt it. Thought it was his baby. I have to pick it up, take it outside, and we did this. I think I did like 6 baby possums out of my house one summer.
Yeah, my mom has a cat that like most cats like kill something, they bring it in, all that whole thing. But she has one cat that doesn't kill anything. It just brings them in. So she's always like, "Oh God, somebody
Yeah,
catch that lizard," and then it's just gone.
that's the way
So
Oliver is. He just brings in random babies that aren't his. Just a
yeah,
little kidnapper.
her cat brought in the biggest lizard that I've ever seen that wasn't an iguana. Just
Oh my
brought
God.
it in the house, and I'm like, where do you even find something like that?
Right?
It was
And then you
it
can't get it
lived
from
in
them.
the
They're like, no,
house.
it's mine.
Yeah, well, it lived in the house for a solid week. And I'm like, I don't know what it's living off of. Like, I don't know. It's not like there's bugs and stuff all in the house. Like, it's got to be hungry and thirsty. But that lizard, I, it lived a tragic life. That's all I know. It went out and it went out bad.
Poor guy.
It met the fate of the fate of a chair. And so
Oh
mm,
no.
it got mangled by a chair, and then a cat finished it off. And I'm like,
Fierce hunters.
those cats could have lived off that lizard for a week. That sucker was huge.
I love it.
All right, my dear. Do you have any final words? Anything else you want to add?
I do not. I just appreciate the time. It's my first podcast. I'm super excited on my journey now to the TED Talk stage.
There you go. You'll get there. You'll do it whenever. You sound like you're already ready. You got this.